Welcome everyone to the Monday Night Raw recap of May 11th, 2026. I'm gonna be real with you. It happened again. I did a full review and everything. Mike picked up diddly squat. He didn't want to work with me. So now this is take two on a video that I already did. So I'm basically repeating myself and it sucks. So I'm gonna just get this over and done with. Alright? Okay? Just sit tight, relax, and watch me as I review, okay? So, first thing that happened on the show was the Vision walked out with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman talking to Schmack, hyping up Braun Breaker, Paul Heyman, and Austin Theory. And Paul Heyman takes the mic, starts talking trash, saying that he hates the "Can we fire Logan Paul" thing. And the Street Profits come out, which was weird because Logan Paul said Joe Hendry. So when Joe Hendry's name is said, his music's supposed to hit. But instead, it was the Street Profits. So it was like, WWE, if you can't keep up the shtick, or what are we doing already? They already meshed up his shtick. And we're like, all right, well, bet. Might as well just move on. Okay, that was just one time. That was one time. Hopefully, one time. But we had their match. Uh, it was a great match. Seth Rollins came out during the six-man tag match and ended up helping Street Profits pin Division. Thus forth, they pinned the tag champions and earned them a title match. And it was weird because Seth Rollins was trying to seek help and like trying to make up with the Street Profits, as Angelo Dawkins was the guy saying, was basically like, all right, I'll hear you out, and basically like, oh, I kind of trust you. And Montez was the guy who was like, "No, I'm not having any of that. I'm not trusting you at all." He didn't trust Seth Rollins at all. Didn't care about anything. And later on the night, we had Logan Paul get interviewed by Jackie Redmond, who he called wacky, and he was like, "If they keep singing that song, then I'm gonna chop off my ears so that I don't have to hear it anymore." He was like, "What we should be singing is Logan Paul, you are super honorable." or I can't remember what the song was. He said he made his own song basically, but I don't remember. I kind of just drove past it. Um, then we saw Jackie Redmond asked Austin Theory how he felt about Saturday Night's main event, which is confirmed that it's gonna be for the tag titles. He just looks over like, "You want to get in my car? Come with me in my car." And she's like, "No, no, I'm okay." And then if you've seen, Maxine was in there, and there's been a lot of moments where we see Maxine and Austin Theory in the background. Now I don't want to make any assumptions, but is it Maxine married? So in my opinion, I don't think they're doing anything crazy. If they were doing anything storyline related, they would have already done it. But no, so I'm just like, oh, maybe it's like a Bailey and CM Punk moment, or like CM Punk with Kofi, or where it's just best buddies. Like I really do think that Dom and Liv already became like super great friends over the years because they've been around each other, or like a Liv and Raquel situation where they're just best friends. So you know what I'm saying? I don't think any specials coming from that, but we have the Vision, as in Logan Paul, and the Pressure Austin Theory versus the Street Profits at Saturday's main event coming up. So there's that part that happened on Monday Night Raw. Then we had Penta go out there like saying that he wants to speak to Ethan Page because Ethan Page cut a promo during commercial about last week saying that he wants a shot at the IC champion because he pinned Penta when they were doing the tag match. And Rusev ended up coming out saying, "Hey, I'm the one who was the guy who beat up Penta. So you basically got the victory over my conquering, over my sort of dominance." And Ethan's like, "Oh, whoa, whoa, buddy. Okay, you're right. I was trying to get you a match, but it was Javon Evans who said, no, no, no. Rusev is not worthy." And then Javon's like, "No, I didn't say anything." He was like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa." And we had Javon Evans versus Rusev. I initially thought we were going to get the Fatal 4-Way match, but instead we just got Ethan Page versus Penta as Saturday Night's main event, and we had Rusev versus Javon tonight, which wasn't a bad match. Javon ended up picking up the victory. And yeah, I guess we're getting that at Saturday Night's main event. So I'm cool with it. Yeah. Then we had Paige and Brie Bella go out there and say that they're there now on Monday Night Raw, considering the Judgment Day girls called her out last week. And they were like, the Judgment Day girls came out there, started talking their smack. Raquel brought up the mamas, which is crazy work because it was just Mother's Day yesterday, which is crazy. So we was bringing mamas in, and they were basically saying that Paige and Rebella didn't set the bar for anyone because their bar was so low that the girls of today have to set the bar high, and they were like laughing in their face and all that. So yeah, and we had Liv Morgan help the Judgment Day attack the tag team champions, which they're gonna end up having a tag match next week on Monday Night Raw. And I really don't know what I want. I don't know if I want the tag titles to change or not, because I kind of want the Judgment Day to be built up, but then they've already done that so many times. And I just really like the Judgment Day girls as tag champs because they were defending it all the time and having banger after banger. And yeah, but also I would say also I was thinking about is later on the night they did cut the promo, and I was thinking to myself like they put a promo during commercial break, and I was thinking to myself, Liv and Dom have been in a storyline together since like 2024, so that's been what 2 years almost. Yeah, 2 years almost. This month would be the 2 year anniversary, and we've seen her in a lot of Dominic type clothing. I wondered what is Liv's Morgan's wardrobe because she has so many Liv like Dom shirts and all that. Even Dom's wearing a lot of Liv's type stuff. But more, she's been wearing more than him. So I was like, damn, bro. I wonder how much effort she puts to Dom like clothing and like how much she has. I've always wondered that. But that happened. That was the Judgment Day girls and the tag thing for the night. But yeah, that was their story for tonight. Speaking of Dom and Liv, Dominic ended up defending the AAA Mega Champion tonight against original Grande Americano in a great match. It was your in-ring main event. And it was weird because I thought Dom would lose the title because technically he is still cursed from Danhausen, and they never said that it was lifted. So I thought they'd keep the curse story alive and all that, considering Danhausen just wrestled on a pay-per-view and get eyes on him. And I thought, damn, they're probably gonna make Original win the title so that way when Tall beats Original in the Mask versus match, he not only unmasks Original, he wins the title. So it would be create a big moment, viral moment for WWE. So I was like, oh, that's probably what they want to do. But they said no, Dom still retained, which was weird, and the crowd was really dead tonight, really really dead. And I was like, wow, okay then, but you know, not my say on what happens. But it was really weird that they did this tonight, especially since Tall cost Original the title. Wouldn't you want him to win the title? So then you have an excuse to challenge for it. Sky and Asuka had this moment backstage where it was like Asuka and Io both crying, congratulating each other on a great match and hugging and all that. And Asuka told Io like, "I'm super proud of you because I finally was defeated by my pupil, the person I taught." And it was weird because it really did feel like a goodbye by Asuka. And WWE even said themselves that Asuka's future with the WWE is unclear, and they'll keep us updated. But that wasn't the only thing that Io did tonight. She had a match with Soruka. It was a great match. A victim of a horrible, disgusting crowd by Tennessee. Tennessee, you should be ashamed because that match was phenomenal. And you gave it nothing. Tennessee, you are now on the list of a place that WWE should never ever go back to. And if you're like, damn, I don't want that because then I can never go, then tell your fellow folks to get loud in the crowd. But Io and Soul had a match. It was amazing. The ending was also fantastic because it was a counter that looked like a botch, but in reality, it was just a great counter because Soruka went for the Soul Snatcher, missed it. Io ended up rolling her up. And later on, we had Becky Lynch laughing at Soruka saying, "You want to challenge for my title and you're supposedly the next cool big star coming up. You just lost." So yada yada yada. So I think maybe we might get Becky and Io and Soul at Saturday night's main event, and that's why we didn't get the Fatal 4 Way between the men, because that's what WWE's plan is for the multi-person match. So yeah, there was that for tonight as well with Io and Soul Ruka. Oba Femi did his open challenge again, and this kind of woke up the crowd again. But the thing is, what made me go, oh no, was his open challenge wasn't even open, wasn't even answered. Adam Pearce went out there and said, "I'm sorry, Oba, but no one wanted to answer. So unfortunately, it is canceled for tonight." Then Oba goes, it's not being canceled tonight. I will find an opponent." And he goes backstage strutting. People are going, "Who?" Which is the greatest chant ever created by the NXT crowd. Going, "Who?" to Oba. But he ended up picking an innocent Angel Garza and Humberto, who were just chatting with some girls backstage, minding their business. And Oba's like, "You two, come with me." And he picks them up, destroys them. And it was the first time in a handicap match that the single person wasn't the handicap, but the two people were. And it's crazy. I don't think it was the first time. I think there was other times where it was like 2-on-1, and the one was more dominant. But still, if you have no real plans for the Oba Femi Open Challenge, and this is the type of stuff you're gonna do, have Oba basically like call out someone like a Rusev, like Rusev's back there, and he goes back there and he's like, "You come wrestle me," and then Rusev's just like, "You want me to wrestle you?" And then they go out there and have a great match. You know what I'm saying? At least do that with someone incredible, or have some actual match, not squash matches. I'm not a fan of it already. I really want Oba to be involved in storylines and actual feuds and actual matches and not be a victim of being the overpowered man in WWE that only has squash matches. It sucks. I don't like it. End it already, WWE, and just give him a real feud with someone, please. Then we have the main event of the evening, which is Roman Reigns trying to call out Jacob Fatu to come acknowledge him. Because technically Jacob did lose, so it should be in the clause that Jacob has to acknowledge Roman. Which is crazy because Jacob shows up, Jay's out there waiting, saying, "Jacob, think about this. Think about what you're doing to the family. Think about how you're hurting your family's legacy and our family's legacy and making us look like a bunch of wild animals in packs." And Jacob doesn't listen. He just beats up Jey Uso, and points at the camera and says, "Roman, if you want me to acknowledge you, you're gonna have to beat it out of me. You're gonna have to beat my ass and make me acknowledge you." And then Jacob goes out into the crowd, and Jimmy's trying to plead with Jacob, trying to talk to him. Jacob beats up Jimmy, and him and Roman have a face to face, and then Roman and Jacob just start beating each other up. Roman ends up getting the advantage, grabbing a chair, beating up Jacob. And I hate that Jacob is a no seller too. Like, I hate when wrestlers do no selling. Like, unless it's a cool moment and you do it like one time, it's cool. But Jacob kept no selling. There's some stuff he shouldn't have no sold. And I was hoping that Roman would stand tall, showing that he's still the tribal chief, that he's the guy who will make you acknowledge him. I hope they end up doing that at some point where Jacob doesn't want to acknowledge Roman, but Roman makes Jacob acknowledge him. And then we get the old tribal chief back. Golden glove Roman, considering Roman's walking out with that golden glove again. It's not the full golden glove, but it's partial. So I was like, we need partial golden glove tribal chief out there. But yeah. And then there was this moment where Jacob's walking away like, "Yada mean, ah, yeah, 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 yeah." And Jimmy and Jay are trying to pick up Roman by the barricade, and Jacob runs full speed, ass to faces, and puts him through the barricade. Well, two people, Jacob and Jimmy, or Jacob and Jay. No, Roman and Jay. There you go. As Jimmy's holding his head, so I'm guessing Jimmy just got hit with the ass to the head and ended up headbutting the barricade. So, yeah. But I don't know what you do next. Do you do a stipulation match? Tribal combat, maybe? No, because you can't do that because Jacob doesn't want to be the tribal chief. Maybe he does. I don't know. But that is your recap from Monday Night Raw as of May 11th of 2026. Also, I have another announcement. I would like to announce the fact that I have started a second channel called JWT Figures. The JWT stands for Jasper's Wrestling Toys. But I have the stage right here. I have everything ready. Don't mind the paper. That's a paper to something else. That's my notes that I ripped up because, well, I'm done with the notes. And I hope you go check out the matches. I'm starting the tournament. I already have my custom title ready. We already put on two banger matches, which is Kurt Angle versus Adam Cole, and then Dragon Lee versus Ray Fenix, Mi Onimo, and they're two great matches for you to go enjoy. You can watch it while eating, watch it while whatever. You can show your children. If you're a child, you can watch it. It's fun to enjoy, fun to watch. I really think I did a great job. Just check it out for me, please. Uh, Tell me how you feel about it down in the comments. But yeah, thanks for watching. That is your Raw review. Goodbye. Go away from me now.